And we're back, guys. That was a very short interval. Apologize if you guys are still okay. If you haven't left yet, then welcome back. I think my co-cast is still getting some coffee. But we're jumping back into the V-Next champs. Let me just get the bets up and whatnot. We got the bands go to the Pike, the Nunu versus the Yasuo takeaway. It's gonna be HSWB versus Monties, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sheepii, so I'm African streamer / caster. Currently doing the local scene high school league. What a squeak. I think that was Sinister's budgies.
Is that fear I smell?
Clearly left his mic open, or you want to go get coffee or something. But Thresh will be next ban, as well as the Yasuo kind of arena. Wait, the last ban before we jump into the pick and ban stages. Or sorry, the pick stages. Like I was saying, guys, if you are new to the channel, do stream League of Legends in the local scene for both high school and the DS gaming scene, as well as a couple of other things here and there around. We do stream 7 nights a week, guys, from 9 PM usually onwards. If not earlier, if there are matches to cast. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is very few matches due to the fact that it's between legs. Players are done. If you guys like to, you're more than welcome to vote on the outcome of the match. We got the Justana versus the Rakan lock at the moment. Diana, the last ban coming through. Bit of an interesting one. Rakan switched to Nautilus. I actually do like that switch, as Nautilus super sleeper OP at the moment. Not really played that much, but it's certainly coming through back into the meta. But Rakan in a very weak stage due to the fact that they didn't nerf his W. Jax picked up the top side once again, a very nice champion with the change to Conqueror. So I'm liking the pick so far. Nothing too like questionable. Leona as well, very good spot, if not like the highest win rate support at the moment, or what, like very good. Anything sort of playmaking at the moment. Waiting for the third pick before we go into the second stages for the bans. It's gonna be the Scion. Once again, Scion was just nerfed this patch. They changed the no, it was Urgot that was nerfed. Scion's still in a decent spot. Same with Urgot, but one of those tanky top lane beefy boys that have been picked / been better for a while now. Really a jump in the Gamba Ore. Loses his 1,300 doubloons. Yikes, dude.
Playtime's over.
Gonna hit you back with the 500 so you're not at the 0, dude. Well, let's get everyone in chat who has typed in the last while, some doubloons. Viewers, anyone that has chat in the last 30 seconds, sorry, last 15 minutes or the next 30 seconds will get 500 doubloons. That's doubled for subs. Hashtag saves is really in.
Oh, gee, when I left, not one person of the enemy team was in the lobby even yet.
Yeah, I know, dude. I had
almost finished.
I had the headset still on. I heard noise. I just heard the thing start. I'm like, hang on. We were like, be right back for like 20 seconds, dude. And welcome back. I think we heard your budgie at one stage.
Yeah, I was also worrying about that. I was hoping you weren't live. No, man.
There it is again, dude.
Apologies for that.
No worries, it happens. Otherwise, getting back to the pick and ban phase, the ban's now done for the second rotation. The Kassadin, the Nasus versus the Zen and Ari. Hecarim hovers so far. Hecarim, not really meta per se, but he's not particularly bad. It'll come down to execution, I guess. Ugh. Oh yes, really, they're just asking me to send him the tutorial for the bots. I'll make a note of it quickly on my notepad.
You're making a tutorial, Sheepii?
No, I'm gonna send him the tutorial for Streamlabs chatbots. I'll get everything set up and stuff.
Alright. Oh, a bot. I thought he meant like bot lane.
No.
Made myself some homemade iced coffee.
Okay, that's not bad. What are the ingredients like for that team?
1 shot of Nespresso coffee. In this case, I have a limited edition spicy blend with sugar already mixed in. Then have a glass full of ice and chuck it into the ice with a bit of milk.
Okay, it's not bad. Sounds really good. Enjoy it, dude. We have the Gragas Lock-in as well as the Oriana Hecarim plus Vega. Dude, we've seen 1 or 2 very spicy Gragas picks so far for the high school league, mainly from a certain Gragas one trick, but let's see how he can live up to that name, Inhuman Killer.
Isn't Peanut a Gragas player himself? Or are you talking about Peanut?
No,
By
no,
any
I'm not talking about Peanuts. He hasn't played more Kane than anything lately, from what I've seen. But the picks have been divulged. Sinister, can I ask the standard question, dude? What are your thoughts as to the pick and ban phase? Who won purely off of draft, dude?
I think both teams has pretty good drafts, but I think what's both teams' name even? What's TRT?
HSWB versus
TRT.
Monties. I'm not too sure, dude, what that stands for, to be honest.
Okay, well, I like their draft, just because basically the same concept as last game. It feels like it's a fairly safe. Actually, wait, no. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go for DBK draft, because I think they have really good wombo combo potential. The Nautilus Scion plus Hecarim, with the Orianna ultimate plus the Israel that can just safely sit in the backline and not get like focused easily. It's going to be really hard to get this Israel, but at the same time, they're going to have really good team fights. So I think for this one, I'm definitely going to go for... They might have a bit of a problem with damage though. So if they start falling behind, I think that's going to maybe be a problem.
Okay. No, fair enough. Otherwise, you happy with the Nautilus pick, dude? And Leona?
I think Nautilus has been rising up a lot in recent for support, since we know playmaking supports is really good at the moment, but it just feels like Nautilus... He wasn't picked for a very long time, and then suddenly out of the blue, it seemed like he risen up for
like
some
a
reason
phoenix,
for a
did
bit,
he
and I
rise
tried
from
him
the
myself,
axes?
and he actually
From the
felt
ashes?
really good to play. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they actually did make any changes to him. Maybe I missed that, but I feel like he's a pretty decent support currently.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I agree. When it comes down to he plays the lane a little bit better. Tristana Leona versus the Nautilus and Ezreal. A lot more all in coming through the blue side bot lane. Otherwise, the Jax Vega are going to be scaling very nicely.
I just feel like they could maybe lack a bit damage. So if this Israel or Orianna fall behind too much, and like Hecarim or someone can't do anything, the team comp I think is going to be very useless. But I think damage wise, DRT definitely has the advantage there. But the problem that is that Vigor, yeah, no, actually, it's very hard, eh? It's if they fall behind on DBK, it's definitely an easy game for TRT, I think. TRT.
Agreed. It's gonna be an interesting one. Like, I mean, for Hecarim, there's certain paths that you can take with Hecarim. Like, for example, there's a Korean pathing that was very meta for him, where you basically like you rush certain camps and then immediately back with like a home guard predator type vibe, and you run it down a lane and try and gank with that early game boots, like super early cheese. Not really seen that often anymore, unfortunately. Was very much like the go-to for a while at the start of the season, but we're expecting pretty standard party from either of the junglers, but we're gonna see what happens soon enough, guys. If you are just joining, welcome. Expected late, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but finished, done and dusted. It'll be a good match. Sinister, are you have you divulged Rosadi and things on a win? I think you gave us the team comp breakdown.
It's really hard because I really feel like DBK has a good team fighting comp. Like they have the wombo combo. Whether they're going to be able to pull it off or not, that's the golden question. Otherwise, I think definitely that TR. We really need a better name for these people. Which one is Monties and which one is IBuyCereal?
That would be Monties is red side, HSWB is left, blue.
So at Monties is blue side. Monties is TERT.
Hang on. No, I think Monties is red. I'm honestly confused at this point as well, but I'm pretty sure it's red side Monties.
When people can't have clan tags that correspond with the DGL names.
I mean, it clearly is something to do. It might be school names or something. I'm not too sure. Or like, or team names, one of the two. I have no idea. Confusing, dude. When you have multiple games in the same day.
Naming conventions are hard. But anyways, yes, overall, I think TRT has a better team. So I'm going to give it to TRT. Even though I think DBK has better wombo combos. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to land it because, well, from what I've seen during the day, I don't know. It feels like the easier comps normally wins.
Yeah, it's generally how it works. That whoever can wombo hit harder and stuff like that. Mastery points very lacking in this game, dude. No one particularly like having a lot of mastery points in the champion.
Last game we saw a lot of like level 7s with quite a bit of mastery points, so this game is a bit a change of pace.
You see that the Conqueror has been picked up by Tampa's Jax. I'm glad to see that he is exploiting the new Conqueror. You guys don't know the changes that came through 2 patches ago. Hecarim has up to go for the Predator, pretty standard. Klepto from Ezreal, nothing new there. Orianna with the Darko with the Arcane Comet. Although the Ignite, I honestly think that Orianna potentially could have gotten away with playing this game. Is versing Vega with these Eastern, Leona with the Zenith, as well as the Ultimate Solar Flare plus the Q. What is Leona's Q called? Is it like Vanguard or something? No.
Wow, why do I not know this? I've been playing Leona for so long and I don't know this. I feel embarrassed.
Shield of Daybreak, that's it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, gonna be jumping into the game in just a second. Still waiting for the initial fade in process. I don't know, but it just shows everything black and just sits in 0-0. There it is. On game time, dude. Yeah.
Just came in. I'm on 5 seconds.
6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm a second behind now. 13, 14.
16, 17, 14, 20.
Okay. 19, 20.
Yep.
21, 22.
22. Awesome.
Lovely.
What's up, Kennedy? Welcome back, my dude. How's it going? Just join us for the second. Sorry, this is the second match of the day, or was it the third? No, it's the third high school league match of the day. Holy moly, it's getting confusing, dude. Second
Best
match
out
in a
of
row
1
now.
high school league games. So we've casted 3 individual games instead of a best out of 3. I'll quickly pull up some op.gg's as well, so we can quickly have a look at that. Right, so from blue side, with the, we're seeing that unranked level 116, silver 3, unranked level 60, silver 3, bronze 2, and then from the enemy team, pretty much everyone is unranked except for Hecarim, which is bronze 2. So I think ranked wise, we're looking at silver, bronze here again, so more or less the same as last game, and pretty much the higher rank goes over to blue side.
I mean, rank doesn't really mean everything. It comes down to execution at this point, but bit of a weak leash coming through the side of Hecarim. Q not going to land from Nautilus, unfortunately. But actually, wait, is that a Scion? Oh, Scion cheesing, dude. This is quite a well-known cheese. I'm pretty surprised to see it. I have not seen it competitively yet, at least, like I've seen. What you do with the Scion as you are top when you take teleport assault again, you immediately go to the enemy team buff. You die to take the camp. Even though you die, you still maintain the buff. Immediately back to the teleport, getting the experience advantage as well as the buff now, and denying the enemy team a camp. This is like Greg is some sort of aware of it though, so he does go for the enemy Hecarim buff instead. Let's see what comes through from that.
Actually, smart rotations here for the junglers to actually go for the red, so not really actually losing anything there.
I mean, technically Hecarim's the one that lost a buff. Just realizing, no, hang on, where's my buff gone?
Yeah, unfortunately, they should have maybe looked at warding that. Maybe Orianna should have walked over and warded that earlier on. They should have, then they would have known what was happening. Also, I think Gragas overall is probably in a better spot than Hecarim. Jungler-wise, he has probably better damage and his ganks are really good. So I think in this case, Hecarim definitely came out on top of this whole trade.
Do you see that the junglers opted, or the Gragas rather opted to go for the Electrocute? I honestly would have like preferred a Aftershock or something on the side of the Gragas. See the fact that it is pretty OP though. He's in a very good spot. It's gonna be nerfed next patch as far as I know. Something to keep in mind. The exploit is what you still can. Keep your lasers. How's it going, dude? Back. Then it does connect, gets the day break straight after the jump in from Tristana. The phase out though from TBD Master. In the backline,
Yeah,
blind
no, it's a turn on this Nautilus. The Nautilus is 1v1ing his ADC.
Heal was burnt, plus flash. No summons left for blue side Eddie carrying. Then the trade or reach. Currently half out. Ezreal
This
seeing
is what I
both
was
some
talking
still.
about on Nautilus. He just feels really good at the moment. Against the Leona, I think he's going to do pretty well as well. He has more CC, he has the area effect slows, the basic attack stuns which he can apply to Leona and Tristana. And his W just makes him really hard to kill or like get off of you once he's engaged. So definitely, I think it's pretty good into this matchup here.
Something you don't really know, a lot of people don't realize with Nautilus is that his W is actually an auto attack reset, so you have potentially could auto W auto attack. Get a little bit of extra damage in for the Nautilus key, or auto attack damage rather.
I always tell people that say they struggle to play Thresh that they should, and they actually like the type of hook playmaking champion to rather try Nautilus. I feel like it is a bit easier than the Thresh to play and harder to kill as well. So definitely not a very hard champ to play. Greg is looking for the skank on Orianna. Is going to fail his body slam there.
Like you're saying, Nautilus, a lot less punishing version of Thresh basically. And a little botch attempt at the mid side. Hector making his way down through the middle. So how do you explain to us how the Leon and Nautilus matchup works exactly? Hold that thought place. There does connect into the attack. Root. A lot of damage applied. Red Jedi. Zenith straight in. Not scanned. Nautilus currently trying to 1v2, but does dead a Jedi taking the W to the face. No damage applied as the auto and the Q not going to reach there. Money part is super low. Does go down. First by going with the Nautilus. Looking for the second. Flashes into the W. Root. Flashing away. Red Jedi not going to die, unfortunately. Both heal and flash available. Potentially could have flashed in afterwards, but pretty risky. Not worth it. Hector trying to clean it up though. There it is. Kane, Limbo picking up the second kill for red side.
Israel Nautilus also picking up a support for that kill, so really good for red side on that kill. Yeah, I don't think Nautilus is a really an easy matchup for Leona, since he does have that area effect E. It doesn't matter if you engage either on the Nautilus or the Israel, it's going to be sort of a hard one. You're going to have to either focus the Israel down really hard, or you might just have to play like a bit more safe until you get level 6 in that lane. I think the opportunities for this Leona was either on level 2, or it's going to come either way, all the way on level 6 at this moment, because the Nautilus has way more to offer in terms of tankiness and CC, I think.
Okay, well, fair enough. Like you said, the lane dynamics sort of switches when you hit level 6. But Tiny Joe forces the waves until what comes through from NLG Mortax. Gragas, despite the fact they are even the CS, being very aggressive with his invades, taking all the camps and such, trying to deny as much from Hector as possible. Blue buff currently under siege, Smite available for both junglers. Here comes the contest. Hector does find Inhumane. Unfortunately, he does run out the popcorn available. Buff resetting? What is going on, dude? This connection to the bot side, being all Jack's looking to try to collapse in the Hector. Sion nowhere near, teleport still on cooldown.
I see what I mean there, right there. Nautilus was 1v2ing essentially, the ADC wasn't near him to help. And he barely, like, he traded well against 2 people. Like, he's a very safe support actually.
That's land the snare, the root is there, but the W is cancelled. Used to cancel the root instead. Jedi is super low at this point. Okay, that was interesting. Starting to to the top side, that's gonna be Jack, super chunked, so very much a Tiny Joe favored trade in the current moment. Jack's just trying to look to disengage, no flash available for the side of Sion. Nice little side stage coming through, not gonna connect. Tiny Joe, bit of a trade back.
I mean, this is our second Jax also coming through today. We also saw it earlier on McLean. Also played Jax and Fiora in the second game, so seemed like a champion that like a lot of people likes in the high school league. Apologies, not Fiora. The second game it was Irelia.
Red buff secured by Gragas. Scuttle still available, bottom side. Heck them top meaning that Gragas Scuttle should be pretty free. Nice snake coming through from Nautilus to re-engage Zenith super far in the back line. Nautilus ult return. Heal is applied, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to take the tuck. The Grievous from the heal actually does survive the skin of his teeth. Holy moly, that's low health.
Yeah, the Leona is very lucky to get out of that, but that's just that's something about Leona that's always nice. The W provides a lot of resistance, so I think that basically helped to get out of that fight alive. Leona wasn't even level 6 yet in that fight. I really think she should have held out a bit longer and maybe look to engage a bit later.
Tiny Joe getting a very nice knockup, but not too sure of the decision though. Jack's coming through with the counter strike, looking to try to get as much damage off as he can. Tiny Joe super low, passive, are you gonna come through? No. Flash still available for MLG, more attacks. Cheeky position to recall. Jax takes the second tower shot. Passive is there for Tiny Joe. Look at try and catch up. Unfortunately, will not have the movement speed required. Yeah, a little bit of a disrespectful position to recall versus Jax. Oh, ultimate from Ezreal. Nowhere near Jax, unfortunately.
I mean, this is pretty big for Jax. Winning a lane with CS and kills like this without having... Well, he had a little bit of help from the jungler, but the jungler didn't really kill him. He just provided some indirect pressure by just, like, helping to gank. Hecarim is here actually, is going to look, and he does get the recall just in time, just before Hecarim can stop him. Really nice recall there, just in time from the Jax. But as I was saying, this lane is going to be really great for the Jax. He's going to scale really well and then pretty much should be looking to take over this lane, maybe get a tower early on and then getting some rotations, getting a herald or helping mid.
Yeah, a little bit of an investment with the red side trying to catch the Jax off there. Both the Ezreal ultimate as well as the Hecarim Predator used. Did not get a kill there. Not the greatest of investments. I mean, could potentially cost him a fair margin. It's going to come down to whether it's punished or not by the blue side. Well, it's currently 1-2 in favor of red. 2k ahead.
Unfortunately, the wave is under the Jax's tower at the moment, but Hecarim is here in the top lane. They are looking to catch him out once he does push us up, and he is going to face check this brush.
Oh, there's the knockup. Well, a big trade in the bot side at the same time. Jax super low, does flash in the wrong direction. The Hecarim over the onslaught of shadows. Not going to pick up the kill, but Tiny Joe finishing off. That's going to be Buddy Pilot 4 finishing off DVD Master as well. Nice barrel actually, knocking his breach towards blue side base. So Reach does flash away. That body slap flash combo messing up, but Inhumane going down. Holy moly, bit of a misplay coming through from the side of Gragas there.
Yeah, I mean, they had a really good fight in the beginning, and then unfortunately being too greedy, messing it up, and then still handing over a free kill over to red side. Nautilus currently sitting on 2-0-1. Unfortunately, no kills coming over to Israel. In my opinion, whenever I play Israel ADC and I start falling a bit behind, he isn't hit in CS, but still, whenever I fall behind on Israel, I like to just stick onto the tier of the goddess for a while and get that stacking. And then rather getting like a Sheen and rather maybe like finishing up an Ice Spawn, it just provides you with a bit more damage plus like making you a bit more tanky and like kiting with the Ice Spawn passive.
Yeah, so even doing the Sheen and not upgrading items.
Miramona up front, he's already only halfway stacked anyways, so not going to provide him too much there either way.
Yeah, laning pass spike is quite missed, or heavily missed. Hecarim currently sitting around the top side river. Pink's still there. Both the Drake, the Infernal, as well as the Rift available. Hecarim makes his way back towards top side. Jax overextending, looking like they're gonna go for the repeat gank once again. Predator popped. Jax no flash available. He does knock him back away from the stun. Bit of a miscommunication coming through from Tiny J and Kane. Slow from Sion. Does have the ultimate available, but no mana to force you to cast it. Does get the knockup, but looks like it's able to walk that one off.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I mean, they do recognize the fact that they need to get this Jax shut down in top lane and not get him to scale too hard and get this tower early. But unfortunately, completely messing up the gank by shoving him out of the stun, which would have been pretty crucial to hit there.
Boys, Debbie, thanks so much for the resub, my dude. Dropping that tier 1 sub. I'm smurfing. Why are you smurfing, dude? The silver sheep next to your name. Well, guys, if you're just joining us now, it's currently the high school league best of 1, third high school match of the night. Myself and SinisterSmiley on the mics. Sinister, how's it going, dude?
Going pretty well. Unfortunately, last day before I have to go back to work. Feels bad, man. But fine, we're living.
Well, it looks like Nautilus going for the key combination. Does get it down. Red Jedi taking a bit of poke, not too much though. Super tanky boy. W resistances are up. Gragas slowly but surely making his way walked up. Dude, did they change Gragas' walk animation?
I think they did.
Because there's no way that he's barely swung like that
They
before.
changed a few people's walk animation.
Beautiful ultimate from Leona plus the Gragas for the follow-up TBD. Masters go for the in the team fight ultimate. Gets it off but does go die as a result. A Jedi super low to heal. Get his arm to survive for a few more seconds longer. Does go down. That's going to be the jungler as well. 3 members from Blue Side dead. Looking for the 4th. Nautilus the pop-off. What is this guy? He's going absolutely crazy. Dude, this Nautilus on his way to MVP right now.
Yeah, definitely. And as I said in the beginning of the game, I think this is a bit of an underrated playmaking support. Everyone wants to play Thresh, but at the end of the day, Thresh isn't the easiest champion to play. He definitely has a bit of a learning curve to him, where Nautilus has the same type of mechanics, but he's very hard to punish and has really good playmaking as well.
Boys, Blue Side is able to pick away that jungle camp, or the red buff in this case. Actually waiting for the Hecarim potentially walk through, but cancels the call a little bit early. Should have just waited there, would have been a free kill. I see the Scion extending for that tier 1 turret top. 15 minutes in, so the plates aren't there. The flash early to get the stun. Here comes the deadly virus snare in the cage, but will not get the stun unfortunately. Ultimate available in the position next to the early ultimate from Deadly Virus. Let's go to the passive from Tiny Joe. Opts not to use the ulti. I think he was out of mana. Oh, Jedi. A little bit too pushed up. Orion and King. Stun is there. Gets the knockback towards the turret first though. As he placed Virus, unfortunately doesn't have the ultimate available. It feels like Jedi was not aware of the fact that he had already used it, so he splashes away.
Something about Nautilus that's also sometimes a bit frustrating, that happens a lot, and I know because I used to play him a lot as well. Its Q always seems like it misses sometimes, and then it still ends up hooking you. There's like a little bit of a hitbox at the end of the anchor that still gets you most of the time.
Most
it's always
shots are actually like that.
How far it will go.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Scion ultimate not going to connect onto MLG. Flash in there, does go down. Hector with the Onslaught of Shadows a little bit late, unfortunately. Looks like he's going to be stuck. Like having a fight, he'll try to get away from the Jax. He does a die. Ezreal across the map, ultimate, looking for that pog chat. Was that 360 no scope, but not going to connect, unfortunately. What's up, Tiny PC Gamer? Welcome, my dude. How's it going? Currently 7-7, 24k to 26k.
I mean, the game is still, I think it's still anyone's to win. It's not specifically someone. What I want to see now is either of the team. I think the best thing to do is to try and get a tower quickly on one of the lanes, and then making some rotations to either maybe the Rift Herald. There's also Infernal Drake up, which is big for any team.
Replay pause for a second there. Bit of an interesting one.
Just a tip. Davey IRL.
Okay, that was something, dude. It's currently 7-7, pretty close game.
Elo at the moment is around silver to bronze.
Oh, nice little connection coming through from the Nautilus. Hashtag Deviant. Ultimate from Leona, perfectly placed. Does take the turret aggro as well, plus the bomb from Tristana. Looking to get the reset of the W. Not gonna pull it, unfortunately.
Radiator also saying he protects, he attacks, but most of all he mains Jax.
Hey, that's pretty decent. Wait, what the fudge? Did you see that as well? Guys, somebody clip that, please. What the fudge? The replay, like, bugging out there, dude.
I think it was on your side. I don't see anything on my side.
Oh, hello. The burst from Deadly Virus. Able to finish the kill in a reel.
What's your time?
Normal clip. 30, 31. 32. 53.
Yeah, you're a bit behind.
Yeah, replay pause for a couple seconds. Drake under siege though, Inhumane Killer looking to try and finish off the first Drake of the game. Nobody attempted anything here, but here comes the Scion plus Hecarim. Unfortunately, Scion can just all straight through that stun.
Oh,
Yeah,
really good
all the
ultimate
stuff.
from Nautilus. Gonna follow them all the way.
Oh, slow shadows. Zenith Blade. Hecarim, super little flash with you from Inhumane. This will be the time for the top side from Jax though. Hecarim does go down unfortunately to Vega. The snare is there, able to lock them in place. Look at the stun, not going to connect unfortunately. Bunny Pirate behind enemy lines. Oriana, you cannot recall there, friend. Looks like you will be caught off. TBD Master able to finish off the kill. Go for the clip, dude.
Yeah, like that's a bit of a unfortunate one. If you're a Nautilus player and you the depth charge off onto someone and he goes behind your team, you actually get like a multiple knock-up just because you tried to get away. It's kind of a yikes one to deal with, and he got it onto them. Gragas there that jumped away and it followed him all the way.
Body slam, prevent the sign, knock up, the Zenith Blade is there once again into the Daybreak. Drake is currently still pretty healthy. Optimus cancel the Drake call. You know that Nautilus ulti actually goes underneath Worm's shield?
Oh, well, sort of would make sense. It's called a depth charge, so it should be going underneath the ground.
Yeah, I know. You'd think it'd be cancelable, or like blockable might be wrong.
No, I agree with it. I think it's a good mechanic that it doesn't block it.
It's a bit of an interesting game, dude. It's pretty much anyone's match at this point. 9 and 8, 29.8 to 28.7.
Yeah, the problem with the gold lead is most of the gold, it seems like is Oriana isn't farming too bad. She's ahead on farm, so yes, sure, it looks like she's not doing too badly. She might pull out a good amount of damage later on, which is an important part of their comp. They want to engage and then have the Oriana ult on them, and then if they have a good wombo combo, that's the important part. But the rest of the gold is on the Nautilus, which could be a problem. I mean, he's still a support. He is building support items, so he won't be reliable for any damage. But maybe he gets such a big front line that the instant delete from Deadly Virus.
Oh, alright. Burst from Deadly Virus is finished with the kill, like you mentioned. It looks like the 1v2 Jax do so much damage. Onslaught of Shadows, the sun is there as well. Does turn back and Hecarim. Let's see with the 1 versus 2. Solo kill so far. Jax, they're gonna try to potentially catch out Sign as well. Popcorn taking the boat towards the turret. Just trying to walk this one off. Yeah, I don't think I've seen Tiny Joe use his ulti in fights at all, dude. For the second time now he's selling the ulti. Deadly Virus picking himself up again, another kill, currently 5 from North with 3. Reach trying to get that turret. He does reach it with the key, but the Tristana auto attack flash will be enough to break the plate, but not finish off the kill, apparently.
Yeah, I definitely still think this game is mostly in Blue Side's favor, mostly because they have their top side tower already, which I talked about earlier on. They want to get towers and then make rotations for objectives, and they have the gold on more important people on the team, like the Vigar and the Jax, which is at the end of the day going to carry the team in fights for damage. This Vigar already, you can see, instantly can pop a Oriana from full health to nothing.
Was Demon third time lucky with space boost of Lucidity, claiming those 183 degrees.
I really don't agree with the Triforce on Israel. He's not doing too good. Like he's doing okay, but if you're not stomping really hard, I don't believe you should be building Triforce, especially in this game where you need to sort of play a bit more safe and try and get as much damage out as possible over time.
Okay. Fair enough.
Instead of going for like the bursts.
What would you get instead of the Triforce, dude?
Iceborne.
Like, the thing is that they're very AP heavy. That's the only like issue.
I don't think it's necessarily about the armor. Just in general,
sure,
like Iceborne does a good amount of damage, and it's just more safe. And it's not like he's popping off really hard, so I don't know if the Triforce is gonna be enough for him.
First Drake being picked up by 21 on those ended. Top Kek Vega Yeti. Yet getting himself another kill. Nautilus getting a very nice lockdown on the turret. The Zenith Blade reconnected through from the video, and it does get snared into the ultimate. So with Flare. Hello, Ezreal finishing the kill. TBD Master finishing nicely. The end of a nice little interaction. Nautilus with the engage, Ezreal with the finish. Why is Vega there, says Deidre? Or Debbie? Because he wants kills, dude. He's hungry for blood. Thanks for not 3, 900 gold bounty. Sign ultimate topside, Hecker. And Hecker pretty much was able to snare. Jack's taking so much damage from the turret late. Flash can be super late. Able to just get out of that, it seems. Tier 1 turret under siege on the bot side.
Not a really good ultimate from Mortalist there. He altered the Gragas, which was right in front of him, instead of alting the Tristana on the back, which will guarantee him a double knockup instead of just the one person. You always want to alt people as far back in the team fight as possible because it will still get you knockups, but on more than one person.
Well, you see that Jax got shut down on the top side by Sion. Nicely played. Vega able to catch out the Hector and the pony. You are going away. Best, just like that, dude. Goodbye, friend.
Yeah, this Vigar is being super massive at the moment. 1000 shutdown gold. Gonna finish up his second item plus a needlessly large rod. So he's gonna be doing a lot of damage. Gonna be looking to get that death cap most probably.
Yet to see the support pitching out his trinket. Should have picked up the red trinket a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's my word of advice always is as soon as you upgrade the second tier item as soon as possible and then get the trinket that matches with that.
Yeah, one turret does fall in the middle. Trade there. Bond's able to pick it up. A little overstay, they need to immediately back out here as they are being rotated onto by the Oriana. Snares there. Reach able to lock down the supports. Bunny Pyre is gonna jump away, not interested in taking that fight. Only the support going down.
Oh.
Oh, hello. Gragas, questionable. Not gonna do any work, unfortunately.
What's your time now?
34.
We pause a little bit more. Keep your timer going.
7, 40.
Okay, 41, 42,
Yep.
43. Cool. Lovely.
MLG with the 1v3 walks off with the stun. Kane here for the cancel. Does end up hitting the fat boy himself instead of him killing and getting knocked up really often. This is coming down to the Greg is going for a full AP build. Super squishy means he'll be chunked pretty easily. Jax will be a 1v5. So much damage. Heck of an onslaught shot for the Oriana Shockwave into the Ezreal. A lot invested. They need the shutdown onto the Vega using the ultimate burst very, very early in the fight. Will go down. Shutdown onto Ezreal. That's massive. The fact that the AD carry got it.
This is very bad for Red. I think they might have just thrown the game. They were looking really good up until that point. They shouldn't have been forcing fights, especially with the ADC still in the bot lane. Yeah, they should have definitely just tried to play it safe.
Unnecessary positioning. This is going to be the multiple shutdowns into the potential Baron here. Only Leona close by, but opting not to go for the contest, which makes sense. Just Thunder currently just trying to get some objectives back, going for that in tier 2 siege. Baron going over to Red. This is exactly what Red Sign wants.
That's exactly what I was talking about back in Champ Select. This is the type of fights that they want. They want the wombo combo, catching people out, and then just winning team fights and pushing objectives. Blue side will have to learn from this mistake if they want to win this game. But at this point in time, they're gonna clear up this dragon, which is really nice. Second Infernal. Now they just have to sit back and try and clear waves and be defensive here. I don't know if they need to push, try and fight here. They should probably just be looking at backing off here.
They played it very proactively. Looks like Deadly Vice may be able to get the pick. Does get the burst, no stun. Was it on cooldown?
And Ezreal opted to go for the double Sheen item. We're going for the Triforce plus Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yeah, not the ideal combo.
They don't actually scale damage wise, but it will provide the Iceborne Gauntlet passive for him and the extra armor.
Yeah, the Zenith Blade does cancel out the spell shield. Do the best strike his way out of the onslaught of shadows. Use the defensive ulti for the Hector, just trying to disengage. I like the aggression coming through from blue side. They are, like, despite the fact that they just lost a very bad fight into like Baron objective, they're still going for like productive plays. But unfortunately, they do lose the tier 2 turret top side as Sun is pushing with that Baron. They have to send Jax to go deal with that teleport not available as he did just use it before that for the Drake. Teleport about to be
There's so,
available for
there's so
Sion.
many minions there. You should have probably just gone for the inting silent strat. Yeah, just straight up try and attack the tower as much as possible.
Like, I mean, he has Baron, so you can just use that just to keep the pressure from the wave coming in. He does have the Adelaide shoving it in. Oh, does get snared. No burst available. Actually, no burst is back up off cooldown, apparently. Very short cooldown on the ultimate from Virus. Jax. Snares the Ezreal. Nautilus is doing a pretty good job of zoning, forces the flash out of MLG more attacks. So the Jax. Sion looking for potential. Flag has the ultimate available. He could pull the trigger right here. The team just follow up. Did a little bit too much of a hesitation, in my opinion. But
I don't
she
know
just
how I
forced
feel
us.
about that double sheen item. That means he's not going to have his double tier.
Massive Sion ultimate. Unfortunately, the turret is there to block it. The massive Orianna ultimate. Sion ultimate is blocked. Tier 2 turret does fall. Ekram, no ultimate available for the next like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to hold this turret from the lane. At the moment, they're a bit low. Vigor has no mana and is going to go back to the base. They're going to have to try and clear this cannon minion that is slowly pushing away at this tower. Just shooting its balls and... shooting, going to half health now, and Hekram also pushing bot tower down. Sion at top tower as well at the same time, so they're doing a 1-3-1 at the moment. Really good, really great from them.
What's up, man? Revolution, welcome back, my dude. Jax looking to trade the top side. Does have the Baron and Horse minions pushing into at the same time. Jax still in the hunt. Malcolm is there, but it is a lot of damage counted on from the counter strike. Flash Q that didn't connect apparently. You might apply. And Jax super low. Will get Marvel's ultimate, finishing off the kill. Reach. You guys just joining us now. It's currently the best of one high school league. SinisterSmiley and myself casting.
Yeah, this had Baron empowered still, and the Jax had a 45-second cooldown timer on his death. So this is a pretty bad situation for blue team at the moment. They have to defend 4v5, and looks like red team is maybe just going to look to reset off this. If top lane is not going to keep pressure, I don't think mid lane should be hanging around. Orianna out of place, as I say that.
Dude, I can see how hard Vega was just chunking Nautilus. Due to the fact that he's pretty much just stacking armor. Fails the Orianna shockwave. He will get caught up and punished for it though. Massive mistake into the side of red side mid lane.
A very careless positioning out of both teams so far. I mean, you had Baron buff and the Baron buff wore off. It's just best to call it a day, reset, get your items, and start pre-pressuring again, because we're seeing that another Drake is going to come up. It's going to be an Ocean Drake. Up in the next 50 seconds, and then Baron will be also up back in the next minute to 20 seconds. So yeah, getting a reset and getting the lanes pushing is probably just the best call here.
Sion with a bit of a preemptive ulti. Use that just to disengage. I mean, safety first, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. As we said, the above mentioned objectives will be up soon, so not really a good time to be dying. Orianna will also be respawning and should be up now.
TVD Master looking for the damage. Force does not connect. Needs to be careful if Vega for the stun. Nautilus being full armor cannot go near that Vega. Hekram putting the trigger. Sonya's used by Deadly Virus. The Sion stun does get locked down. Also shutters into the wall. The Gragas ultimate beautifully placed, putting the Hekram in front of the Sion after to just jump away to the last all attack. Milgy Mortax finishing off the kill. It's going to be the Hekram and Vega are dead. Playing team by Orianna still coming through from the backline. That's going to be the Sion stun hitting 4 members of blue team. Super low. Nautilus with the key on the Jax. Jax on the backline. The Ezreals were looking really questionable. Bunny part able to finish the kill before jumping out. Popcorn available. Does take it. Using the ally for a hop, skip, and jump.
Not sure about that one.
Sion ult. Gonna catch off from predator to prey.
This is very careless plays, considering that death timers are very long. Jack's going to be on 50-second death timer now. Vigor, that's been dead for a while now, only going to respawn in 8 seconds. So they might be looking at getting some damage done on this inhibitor tower. Might be even taking it. Yeah, they should be taking this inhibitor tower now.
Support too low to do anything. Still up to go for the reset. Vega is back up though. Gets the stand on both support and top laner. Inhibitor exposed but not taken just yet. Drake still on the map. My eyes says Debbie, what am I watching? Questionable position to restore to recall. Does cancel and walk it away.
Yeah, Israel's bull is It's very, very odd. He's also went for the Mortal Reminder. They don't have a lot of lifesteal. I mean, Tristana is only building, I think, a Bloodthirster now, not even complete yet. And Jax only has like the Vampiric Scepter. The normal build normally to go is something like Iceborne Gauntlet, Mirror Mana plus Manamune. So that the AP and the AD tier of the Goddess items is normally really good at the moment. Plus, the exception, a lot of people likes to go Gunblade. And Blue side looking to start up this Baron on. It's actually taking it very fast. They might be able to get it.
And as you're the point blank, ulti does only connect with support on the Baron. Blue team finishing the kill, but Jax teleporting to the boss side. Questionable TP with this fight going on. Has no wave, does he? She does have a wave looking at the siege. Says that either way, you're gonna lose this fight, potentially get an inhibitor for this.
Well, they did take Baron, so you should be able to get this inhibitor if they do stop backs.
Bunny Pirate finishing the kill on the support. Jax working his way at that turret. The inhibitor does go down. Still on the siege. Only Hecarim available to defend. Sion still getting through from base. Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that TPD?
The TP from Jax, it was a bit coin flippy. I mean, if his whole team's got aced and they just recalled and stopped him, it would have been very bad for them. I mean, they fortunately did pick up the Baron. It was a very coin flippy Baron. That Baron could have gone over to red team as well. Very bad decision making from both teams, I think. But at least I think that the TP paid off at the end, so you can try and argue it as much as you want. But at the end of the day, I guess it worked out for them.
Like, in theory, if you think about it, they do have the wave shoving into red side, so even if it doesn't take the team, like ideally you take the team right there with your team, then teleport afterwards and finish it off.
Yeah,
he went for the clutch instant play, teleport bottom, get the inhibitor, so even if we lose the fight, we still get a win.
Questionable, but I mean, if they win,
it's something, dude.
Yogi Sip saying that Jax is absolutely 2000 IQ madman making these plays. Just going to get to catch the Tiger out.
Does manage to catch the support. Take over the backline, Kane. We're going to be able to see C trying to lock down the bot or the mid lane rather. We'll finish up the kill onto the Gragas. That's going to be Deadly Virus getting the kill thanks to the burst. The red Jedi. Israel.
Did Leona just like 1v1 this ADC? What
What
happened there? I just saw Israel die. My camera panned away. Okay, well they have Baron buff and they're going to maybe look at finally sieging this tier 1 mid tower.
There you go, coming through with the teleports. Dude, this is such a close game, it's actually ridiculous.
It's way too closer than it should be, definitely.
Nexus does get losing his siege by the minion wave. Jax playing very aggressive, trying to catch on the sign. Flashes over the stun from Vega. Pretty good decision.
I mean, most
It's
of the
nothing
early
with
game
the
was
knockout.
blue side to win, and then there was that one debatable fight in top lane, and then they were struggling a bit. Like red took the Baron, and they were struggling, but it seems like they've started bringing it back now mostly. I mean, they still have this very fed Vigar, so I think they still have the better team comp overall. It just depends if red team can play towards their advantage of like a wombo combo comp, and if they catch out the right person. Like if they can get the Vigar deleted instantly, I think they can take the fight, but if not, they should be looking not to fight.
That was a bit of a fight in chat, speaking of which, 250 the bleeds going over to Devion score IRL. People is some AFK now. The tier inhibitor's down, only left is tier 3 turret top with the inhibitor. Should be a blue side driven game at this point. They are definitely looking to close this game off. It comes down to whether they can pull off the correct execution or not. So anyone's game still, in my opinion. Bad fight, could easily allow for legs that come back. Good Orianna Shockwave, but definitely favoring blue side at this point. Oh, Hecarim, also shout out to the Jax looking the pick. Does go down, Kane Limbo. The 1v2, trying to finish off the AD carry as well. He was the shockwave or the shield. The shockwave is there as well. And Monty Jax just destroying everybody. The Madman himself, the 200 IQ player. Jax with heal, not so good. Side of the flank, that's gonna be the Orianna. Dead. Stopwatch used by Deadly Virus. Reach going down. Shut down onto the Vega just beforehand though. Last member alive. Looking for the Penta. Will he get it? Zion. Super low, Tiny Joe, but there it is. Pentakill. Is that him, the madman himself? Jax, 2000 IQ player, the Yogi protege.
Yogi Sip is very proud.
Otherwise, just Jax things.
Looks like
Is that
I'm
to finish
3
off
for
the
3
match?
today with predictions on who's gonna win.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
But yeah, I almost did shoot myself in the foot there. I mean, I did predict them to win, but they were looking very shaky there in the mid game. Unfortunately, they made a really bad call by being a bit out of position and costing them a lot. The mid game was very blue side, I mean red side, and then after the Baron wore off and the Orianna misplaced it, I think they brought it back, went for the objectives, got Baron, and then that madman Jax TP to the bot lane himself. I mean, worked out at the end at least.
Yogi just giving mad props to the Jax dude. Otherwise, GG well played both sides. Congrats on the win. Sinister, Dean, MVP. What are we thinking? It's even a question.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna give it to the Vigar. I think he just got way too many like solo kills and snowballed the game. I am going to say that he really needs to look at his positioning. Mid game positioning is super important. If you're gonna get caught out on the type of comp that you have, where they are looking for picks on you. They pick the correct person and then they win their team fights. So just work on your positioning in that fight. That game would have been much cleaner for blue side than it have been in this game specifically. So, but otherwise, other than that, I think the Vigar played really well.
So MVP to Vega, Jax with the honorable mention.
Yeah.
Otherwise, anything other feedback or tips potentially to give to any of the players as to like, for example, the Israel, maybe just go and fix the build slightly, not the optimal of builds. Anything else that you could potentially give to the players for feedback to work on for the future?
I think just positioning and knowing when to back off. Very two important things taking away from this game.
Thanks for the MVP says Deadly Virus. You were saying, Sinister?
Yeah, if it wasn't for that positioning mistake, I think blue team would have had a really clean game. Other than that, legitimately, yeah.
Kennedy mentioning as well. Nautilus played well, but he just needed to remember to switch out his support item as he did sit on the trinket for way too long.
Oh, right, yes. But yeah, we already did mention that there was a few bold path issues on both teams' side. Like no scanner still on red side at all, which is very bad. Like you need 2 scanners is preferable. Jungle and support, in my opinion, should have a scanner. But if you have no scanners, that's no vision denial. They can just do whatever they want regarding vision. If we quickly check vision score, let's see if they at least bought control wards. Yeah, I think there's definitely some important improvements. Even watching score vision, like score vision is pretty low. My average score vision per game, the Leona score vision is pretty high. It's like 80 to 100 easily. Control wards, Nautilus bought 1 control ward, which is a complete no. Jungle and Hecarim 0 control wards. Very big no from me, that one. That's a big yikes.
Okay, no, 100%, dude. It's been an awesome series tonight. The last 3 games we did cast. So to everyone that did come through, much appreciated. Guys, we are going to call it there for now. We'll be back again at like 9 PM. If you are keen to join, you're always welcome. So, Sinister, thanks a lot for joining for the cast, buddy. Much appreciated.
Always a pleasure, my dude. If I'm not at work, I'm always keen to have some spicy casts with good old Sheeps.
Awesome. Guys, we'll check you later. Good night, dude.